Right now on Up with KREM, Southwest is trying to bounce back this morning after canceling hundreds of flights nationwide. The airline says the problems stem from weather, but employees telling another story.
I was told there may be a crew issue, basically.
And the Spokane Police Department is understaffed. This morning, what less officers on the road could mean for your commute.
A few mountain flakes just on the pass kicked off this snow season here in Washington this morning. Jeremy Legoo has what this means for our region.
Oh, that was actually a really cool shot. We had a bit of freezing fog there early on this morning, or basically a low-hanging cloud that was down below freezing that froze some of the trees. We're talking the odds of seeing some of all of that here in town coming up in your forecast.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Channing Curtis.
Glad to have you here with us. I'm Tim Pham. We do want to get right to our top story here at 7:30.
That's right. Southwest Airlines is bouncing back this morning from a massive travel disruption over the weekend.
Hundreds of flights were canceled, leaving thousands of passengers scrambling to find new flights to their destinations. Now, this is a live look at the Spokane International Airport right now. Only one Southwest flight is listed as canceled. The flight was supposed to leave this morning at 6 o'clock for Phoenix.
Now, overnight, a Southwest flight coming to Spokane from Las Vegas landed about 3 hours after its scheduled arrival, getting passengers to Spokane just before 3 a.m.
Now, the effects we are seeing here in Spokane, nothing compared to the crowds some larger airports saw. Here's a live look at LAX and San Francisco this morning. The airline canceled nearly 2,000 flights nationwide, and that's about 28% of its schedule. Customers are now wondering exactly what caused the disruption.
So the airline is blaming air traffic control and weather-related challenges for more than the 1,800 cancellations. However, some passengers say that they were told the airline's COVID vaccine mandate is actually to blame for a massive walkout, which led to the cancellations.
I was told there may be a crew issue, basically.
The union representing Southwest pilots denying they ordered any walkouts due to the mandate, even though Southwest is blaming weather and air traffic control. Other airlines had much fewer cancellations. Southwest says it's still operating fewer flights than it did pre-pandemic, which makes it tougher to reschedule those passengers.
We're going to try and get there. When, I don't know.
It's not been fun. You know, it's not a good way to end our honeymoon.
I'm sure the emails will be full, so I've got to get back.
Well, Southwest announced a week ago that they are requiring employees to be fully vaccinated by December 8th.
So the federal vaccine mandate also starts that same day, and airlines that don't comply could potentially lose government contracts.
We will continue to keep you updated on flights in the Spokane area all morning here on Up with KREM.
Well, speaking of traveling conditions, here is a live look at Snoqualmie Pass this morning. October snowfall officially arrived over the weekend, just in the mountains though, thankfully, for now at least.
Yeah, so on the left is what roads looked like over the weekend, and they are clear now.
That's right. So here in Spokane, though, people are definitely waking up to temperatures near or below freezing. Jeremy Legoo is back with us this morning. So Jeremy, can you give us some good news? Maybe how warm will it get today?
It's going to be cool all day. No, but I've got great news, though. Snow is on the way for those mountains. That is great news. That's excellent news. Is there any chance we can get that Snoqualmie shot up one more time? I just want to mention something that you can see there on the... Oh, here we go. Okay, this is kind of cool. See how it looks kind of foggy on the left-hand side? Basically a low-hanging cloud. Look at some of the trees on the right-hand side, the ones close to the road. A little bit warmer because of some of the cars and traffic and friction, but you get away from the road and they all look flocked like it's almost Christmas. That's freezing fog up there this morning because it's that kind of cold. And in parts of the inland Northwest, we are that kind of cold this morning. It says we're in the mid-30s here in Spokane, but I'm here to tell you that parts of town, we have those temperatures down below freezing. That is here in town, and that is around the inland Northwest. Mid-20s in Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint, 22 in Deer Park. Not too far from there in Newport, and as you make your way down toward the Palouse, you're near freezing, so it is a chilly start to the day and quite a bit cooler than where we started the day yesterday. Most locations about 20 degrees colder than yesterday. And tomorrow, trends even colder than today, so many places have freeze warnings and frost advisories in place for the coldest temperatures they'll see so far this year. Here in Spokane, that's likely as well. It's likely the first time we dip into the 20s this season, and whew, it's going to be chilly. Earlier I said this year. No, I meant this season. Sorry about that. It is going to be a chilly one, though. We go from near 30 this morning to temperatures in the mid-50s this afternoon. But notice noon, we're still in the 40s there. So it's one of those days where, yeah, it's the mid-50s, but you might want to bundle up.
7:35 now. It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
First up, plans for Spokane's newest city line is getting delayed again thanks to a nationwide steel shortage. Eastern Washington's first rapid bus transit route was supposed to open next May, but now it's been pushed back to July of 2023. However, once complete, the city will operate a 6-mile route between Browns Addition and Spokane Community College. It will have stops downtown and near GU.
A judge agreed to let Chad Daybell's trial move out of eastern Idaho. Daybell and his wife Lori Vallow are charged with several crimes related to the death of Vallow's children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow. Investigators found their bodies on Daybell's property near Rexburg. The judge recommended the trial be moved from Fremont County to Ada County. The date for his trial has not been set.
Pullman Regency Hospital is opening a new COVID-19 testing center this week. It will be located at 690 Bishop Boulevard. Starting Thursday, the center will be open Monday through Friday from 8:30 until 5. Patients will need to be referred, though, by a healthcare provider first before getting a test.
New controls are coming to Facebook after a whistleblower says the platform harms children. Now, the social media platform saying the features will prompt teens using Instagram to take a break and also nudges them from looking at content that can hurt their well-being. Facebook is also planning to introduce new controls on an optional basis for parents to supervise what their teens are doing online.
Teachers can cash in on a free breakfast at Mickey D's. Educators, school staff, and administrators can all get a free thank you meal at McDonald's starting today. It'll be served in a classic Happy Meal box with a choice of one entree, hash browns, and a beverage. The edible token of appreciation runs through Friday.
That's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKrem on social media.
Millions of Americans have not gotten the COVID-19 vaccine, and some may now face weekly testing at work. But who's in charge of footing the bill for all of those tests? Our Verify team has the answer.
All over the U.S., employees are being told to either get the shot or face frequent testing. And this is impacting a lot of people. You may remember back in September, President Biden announced a pending OSHA rule. Businesses with 100 or more employees will have to require either a vaccine or a COVID test at least once a week. And many small businesses are deciding to do this as well, which begs the question, who pays? Let's verify. Does your employer need to pay for those COVID tests? Our researchers took that question to 2 employment lawyers and 1 expert in global health law.
I think that the employer could require the employees to pay for it. It certainly will not go onto the federal government as being a cost to them, but it'll ultimately come down to the employer and what the employer chooses to do.
In other words, the ball's in their court, and they could make you pay.
Now, is there a more complicated discussion if the testing is because the employee can't get vaccinated due to a disability or due to religious reasons? Maybe, because then maybe we're venturing into the world of reasonable accommodation.
But in the end, all our experts say that even those with reasonable accommodations might have to foot the bill. But remember, we haven't seen the final OSHA rules just yet, so things could change.
When the OSHA standard comes out, it may be silent on the question of who pays, or it just may be an employer must pay.
So we can verify that no, your employer does not have to cover the cost, but big businesses will want to watch out for that OSHA rule, which could make them have to pay up. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
This morning, we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and we're highlighting a special program at the U of I designed to help students in our region.
And we're talking a couple of chilly mornings ahead. Yeah, cold enough to throw socks on and a coat and keep it around, because even though it's the mid-50s, it's a cool mid-50s. But Wednesday is when we have the chance of rain and snow in the forecast. I'll walk you through it.